Hello, Chicago. I'm Anna Ninoyu, Chair of CAN TV's Board of Directors. Joining me for the first and series of CAN Conversation are my partners and colleagues, George Rovello, Vice Chair, CAN TV's Board of Directors, and Darius Hillman, CAN TV's Executive Director. We decided to film this series of Kitchen Table Talks as one of the many ways we're demonstrating CAN TV's shared commitment to openness and transparency. During times of significant change, there is really no such thing as too much conversation. In the years since Darius joined the organization, CAN TV has experienced significant and intentional change. With change, however, there can be a feeling of disorientation, even fear that the world, more specifically, CAN TV becoming something other than what it was originally founded to achieve. We want to use these conversations to not only remind ourselves why the changes underway were needed for the long-term sustainability of CAN, and share how the evolution happening at CAN TV strengthens our commitment to our original mission, a mission that remains unchanged.
Over the past 10 years, a number of key external forces have impacted CAN TV, necessitating the re-examining of how the organization engages in its important work. Some of those key external drivers include a 35% decrease in community producer memberships between 2018 and 2022, an 83% decrease in the number of nonprofit hotline programs since 2019, rising use of video-rich platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and decreased cable subscriptions, resulting in both shrinking viewership and a 27% reduction in cable revenue, CAN TV's primary revenue stream. This trend has continued during the first quarter of CAN TV's current fiscal year, with cable revenue falling 32% lower than budgeted projections. Adding to these external factors are the lingering impacts of the global pandemic, which closed CAN TV studios to the public for nearly 4 months.
In response to the myriad external forces impacting the organization, beginning in March of 2021, CAN TV management, staff, and the board worked for more than 6 months to develop the roadmap for CAN TV's growth and development. It was a rigorous and collaborative process conducted under the challenging constraints of the pandemic. Together, we refined our mission statement and vision and made a commitment for CAN TV to become the leading peg locally and nationally. The key pillars of the plan include building community. Over the next 5 years, the number of content producers, both internal and external, will increase by 5% annually, and the age demographics will demonstrate an increase in youth engagement. Civic engagement. By 2025, CAN TV is a known place for elected officials to interact with their constituents, for policymakers to connect with the public, and for students, researchers, and the interested public to access viable civic education programming. Revenue diversification. By fiscal year 2025, CAN TV will sustain overall revenue at $3 million per year, while the ratio of non-cable income will increase from 1.5% to 3% of total annual revenue. Brand awareness and communication. By 2025, CAN TV is highly valued within the Chicago and Illinois media, nonprofit, and public service industries and among the general public, and attracts large numbers of local viewers and users, supporters of the network services and programming. Training. By 2025, CAN TV's training program attracts a wider diversity of voices, while demonstrating a 20% growth in engagement among individuals ages 18 to 30.
One of the things that made joining CAN TV so attractive to me was the existence of an incredibly well-articulated and well-thought-out strategic plan. In the past year and a half, the board, staff, and I have been implementing that plan with demonstrable success. Key building community pillar successes include a new partnership with Chicago Public Schools that will provide full access to more than 30 CPS schools and more than 2,000 students and staff. CAN TV has also launched new partnerships with Chicago Foundation for Women and Goodwill Industries. Key civic engagement successes thus far include the launch of CAN TV's signature programs like Change Agents, Joy in the Breakthrough, The Table on Air, 3 Questions with hosted by media legend Hugo Balta, and the relaunch of Chicago Newsroom 2.0, hosted by one of the most respected leaders in Chicago, Andy Zopp. Directly following our weeknight signature program block on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays is the Graded 8 block, showcasing some of the incredible programs produced by community partners, including Taped with Rabbi Doug, Elevating Our Stories with Sylvia Ewing, and Cooking with Tittle with the legendary LaDonna Tittle. CAN TV is also bringing the community together for powerful documentaries and town hall conversations like King and Gandhi, Unfinished Business, The Marginalized Working While Black, and the upcoming Trajectory of Hope, Stories of the West Side, and new partnerships with media organizations, including Latino News Network, the Citizen Newspaper Group, and the newly launched Medill Midwest Solutions Journalism Hub.
Key revenue diversification progress includes CAN TV's 2023 budget represents the first year of revenue growth in more than 5 years, including growing contributor support by nearly $1 million year over year. In support of these revenue diversification efforts, the network will execute its first year-end annual appeal campaign and host its first ever gala fundraiser in November of this year. Key brand awareness and communication successes include the complete overhaul of CAN TV's website, as well as the launch of 24/7 streaming available on the new cantv.org website and the CAN TV Plus app available for download on Roku and Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. In just the first 3 months of 2023, live streaming of CAN TV signature programs and specials exceeded 1.3 million views. Training successes include the naming of a new training department manager, as well as the hiring of 2 new full-time training coordinators, as well as the successful launch of the Youth Voice Digital Literacy and Storytelling Institute, a 10-week intensive currently serving the 3rd cohort of young people ages 16 to 24.
Well, we all can agree that change is necessary for the long-term health and sustainability of CAN TV. Managing that change isn't always easy. Yet we agree on the means and method to achieve these milestones.
Throughout this process of growth and evolution, it has remained abundantly clear that the board, staff, and community producers deeply care about and are dedicated to CAN TV's long-term success and its potential to be the nation's premier community television network.
Together, we are setting the stage for CAN TV's next 40 years of incredible service and incredible success.
In the coming weeks and months, George, Darius, and I will reconvene around this very table to bring you updates on our progress as we continue on our collective journey towards CAN TV's next 40 years of service to Chicago. In the meantime, thank you for your continued trust and support. Until next time, take good care of yourselves, your loved ones, and each other.